Good morning and sliding into afternoon. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas, and this is the last day of our Stamp Along. It's day 6. We got 2 projects today, and they're both involving techniques. All right, so let's go down the hands and let's get started. It's a beautiful day here. I don't think we're supposed to get rain, but tomorrow we are, and all week long for the next couple of weeks, which is great because we need all the rain we can get. A lot of crafting time we can do too, right? So let's go down the hands and let's get these made. It's a Saturday, I don't know about you, but we always got things we want to do on Saturday, right? So we're actually using 2 different techniques when we do these. I'm going to start off with the one right here on the left, and then we'll do this one last because I brought a rag in case I need it, because this one's a little bit messy. It can be messy, all right? And don't forget to be sure to leave a comment, whether it's in replay, live, or whatever, so that you are entered in the door prizes later on this evening when we put everybody's names in and start drawing prizes. All right, and then we'll contact you and let you know so we can get the prize to you. All right, so this is the one we're going to do first. And really, it's simple. It's simpler than it looks. Sometimes we see things and we think, oh my gosh, well, this is okay. All right, this is fine. This is number 11. So this is actually cut out ahead of time, right? So when you do this, you can do it one of 2 ways. And I've done it both ways, and it doesn't bother me one way or the other. You can either die cut this out and this out simultaneously, but it doesn't matter really and truly if you want to do it separately or together, because any way you go, this is going to still line up with this right here, okay? So this one is taking this same die here and putting a smaller down the inside so I can actually just get this rim. Now the thing that we have to do here is we have to actually stamp the rim here, right? So it is a big stamp, and I'm having to use an E-block. I could have used the positioner or the Stamparatus, whichever you have, if I had done it originally first, right? But I didn't do it that way, so I'm just gonna get just want to make sure I get this well inked. And actually, I'm going to turn this sideways. And I might create just a little shadow as I go to stamp this, because I want to make sure I get it centered just right. And I don't know about you, but I'm short-waisted, so sometimes being short-waisted, when I look at it from one angle versus another, it looks different. So we'll take that off. There you go. I'll set that aside to clean. All right, I'm not going to clean it right this moment. Just seeing if I got it all over my hands yet, because I will maybe on the second one. All right, so from here, all we're going to do, so see how easy that was? We're just taking it, you're using 2 layers of dies to make this happen. And then we're just going to adhere this down. Now this is going to end up being a tri-fold, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive around here, okay? Just around the rim. I'm not doing it a lot. I'm doing it on here because it's easier to do it here than it is on the frame. But we just want to just do it lightly around, because you don't want it oozing out in either direction, really. So we're just going to put some, just want it to stick good, right? That's the main thing. We just want it to stick good. And give us a little time to position it as well, too. So we're going to go ahead and get this on here, right here. And I'm just lining those up, right? It's just easy to line this up. And if you're not sure, you can always flip it over on the back side, right? Because we got a hole. So we really shouldn't. Our goal is we're not trying to see any of that cardstock. We want it to line up as nice as we can be right here, okay? All right, because that's where I am just going to do. All right, this is how we're going to make our extra flap. So we're taking this card base here, and it's going to be just as tall. So once you design this, Francine, actually both the projects we're working on, Francine designed. Look how this is going to look on the back here. All right, so we've got a score line here, and we're going to fold it. Now I will tell you a tip and a trick is look and see what's on the other side of the paper. All right, because when I was doing this, I had to remind myself, it's like, okay, what's on the back of the paper? Because if you look at the original one, she did it like this, which is fine. It's however you want to do it. I chose to, when I do this one here, I chose to do it this way because so I can see all the poo here. All right, so I'm going to just put some adhesive here. So this is a great way, right? So I could have easily, this is just extending it. You just need enough, right, to grab a hold of the cardstock that you have. But just think, you could sit there, do it this way. We could easily have added on this other way, just as long as you add either a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch, right? And to sit there and adhere it onto whatever you have, and it allows you to extend it. And see what I can see with this one is it'd be easy for me if I'd made it a little bit longer, right? I could even gone back and added another 2 things of cardstock to the other side of this, and this could have been the centerpiece, right? So it's just options and ways that you do it, and this is just a great way to make it look nice as well as extend the card size and give it a little different flavor, right? So it's going to fold just like that. And all we did is just add it onto the back, right? That's all we do. You just want to make sure it adheres well. And then we have it right here. So it's really easy. Sometimes we think it's really super hard, but look how it looks when you open it up, right? So try to envision in your mind if you went in and extended it even more, right? That would be really cute too. I've already talked myself into it. Okay. So next time you see me, you'll most likely see that I've done it. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside because we are going to put Pooh and Piglet on the outside. And then we're going to stamp on the inside here. And then we're done. We just have to add embellishments. And I do need to stamp the outside as I'm looking at that. So that's one thing Francine does. She really utilizes stamping on the front of the Veet card, whether it's cardstock or DSP. But see how, just think of that, right? 2 extra on the other side. So let's go ahead and get this sentence. I will love you forever and ever. And even after that, right? We used to, grandson when he was little was used to, I would love you to the moon and forever, or universe, right? But it's really nice saying, right? All right. Okay, put that one aside. Okay, so all we're going to do is fold this right here. And we're going to put, oh, where is my Pooh and Piglet? You guys are still in the envelope, I guess. I guess. I don't know how I missed them. All right, somehow I've misplaced my Pooh and Piglet. How is that even possible? All right, I do not know at the moment, but it's okay. We will keep forging on. This has like been really an off week for me for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I did it every single day as well as doing other stuff too. I haven't decided, but definitely this is not my norm. I was just double checking, making sure I didn't put it in the other pack. All right. I've already got it die cut, so I'm not sure where it's at. Okay. So I made sure this morning, and I'm looking around as I'm talking. Okay, so I got to find Pooh and Piglet. I don't know where they're at right now, but we're going to act like I'm going to stick them on, and I haven't found them yet. Okay. Because I dumped everything in on my envelope, and I don't see them. Okay, let's go ahead and we can at least stamp the inside here. Yeah, I didn't bring any extra paper to even cut some if I wanted to. Because really it's a nice die cut when you see this, because the die cuts all this little detail out right there. And I made sure to do that to show you guys because, right, that's the beauty of it all. And she just stamped it right here. Okay. Yeah, I know. So worst case scenario, right, I could just take the Pooh Bear off of hers that she created, right? And I could say done. But we're not. I've already got it cut out. Let me go ahead and get a bow done as, in fact, the bow was in there. That's the other interesting thing. The bow, and I don't even see my bow either. Well. Okay. Well, that's something. So now it's not only that, but it's also my ribbon. So it's a good thing I do have extra ribbon handy. So think about that, right? Think about, like, if you want to, so, like, we have a class coming up. Well, we have a couple of things coming up, right? We have the Retreat in the Box to go with everything in it for you. And we have we're going to have a class at this month here. It'll be online as well as at our local restaurant called Neaters, and we're actually going to make a mini photo album, as well as we'll make a card, and we're also going to make a tote that we haven't made. So, you know, it's one of those things, it's like a gift package, right? We're going to have everything in there. Ready goes a gift package, as well as, you know, some extra cards as well. Okay. I guess it's just one of those days. I was looking at the fact that this is the last day and it's going to go breezing by. It's a Saturday. Do you have days like that? It's like, or weeks like that. In fact, my daughter was over last night for game night, and that's what we talked about. She said, it's really been a really weird week. I said, well, welcome to the crowd. It's like we're both having a weird week. At least we're in it together, right? Let's see what we got here. It is a beautiful set, right? Well, and the other thing is, right, we have just done like a sample of all the different scenes they have, right? There's so many scenes in this set as well, too, that you can just, it's easy, right? So when I say we're going to make it, and we're going to have a class this month, toward the end of the month, we're going to use some of those scenes to create a mini album. There's other things you can do too, and we'll do with it. But I mean, it's just, you know, they just put it out there for you to be able to do that, and I love it. Now, I would tell you though, like the one we're fixing to use in a minute with Pooh and the balloon, there's only 2 of those in a package of paper, right? So if you're wanting more of those, then you're going to have to get more than 1 pack. So, just FYI. Okay. Let's see here. Well, I'm at the end of this roll. Let's see what we got here. Something here. Let's get it off of here. And we'll get it off of here. Now, looking to see what else I have around here that's... Okay. And we're just going to put this right here. Okay, and we can trim it. Trim it however you want it. I'm not going to steal Pooh Bear and Piglet from that. Either it's... I can't imagine where it was right now. I die cut it this morning. Just right before the live, so I don't know. Alright, so you're just going to have to visualize Piglet being right there. And I did do Wink of Stella. And we can add the blings. I have the bling. I just don't know what happened to them. It is a very, very cute set. I'm hoping they could come out with a Christmas one. That would be way too cool. I could do this one year round. I could do a lot of things with this, right? I'm not limited to just what we see here and everything else. There are so many things we can do. All right, so that's how it's finished, and you get to imagine that Pooh is in there, right? All right, so let me set this aside. Oh, it's okay. You know what? I'm glad you got the extra paper, too. And the thing is, there's always replays. I mean, I'm not going to do the drawing until tonight. I'm going to put everything on the wheel of names. And that's what we're going to do. All right, so this one here is a technique where we're going to... I was thinking maybe I accidentally stuck it in with this, but I did not. So we're actually going to swipe the ink of the folder. All right, the folder that goes with this, and that's what's being done on this last card. And I'll show you, I've done this 3 ways just so I can show you the difference. So if you just emboss the cardstock, this is what it looks like. Okay. This one, I don't think my ink pad had enough ink, so it's lighter, but if you compare this to what she created, it looks very similar, right? It looks very similar. And this one here, just because I could, right? I do a lot of times things like because I can. I just literally mash the ink pad down all the way across. Not just swipe, I mashed it down. And that was after I inked it. Because when I did this one here, my ink pad was a little on the dry side. So that's one thing, if you go to do this, you might want to test it out first, see how dry or wet or juicy your ink pad is. Because when I got through adding up and I squished down to make sure I had ink, this is what I got, right? Okay, so we're fixing to find out what we're going to get now for this one. So I'm just going to fold this in half. This is just my card base. And I'm going to set it aside. And then I have this extra piece of cardstock here that we're going to run through here. Yeah, okay. So let me get this over here. I'm just going to, so all I'm doing is right now is I'm just working on grabbing my Big Shot. So actually Stampin' Up! Was partnered with Big Shot. Here's a go, and you can see it. Let me show you. And so I have more than one, right? I have one downstairs, and you see it's their name on it. So yeah, they used to be partnered with Big Shot. Let me see if I can get this on here for you so you can see what we're going to do. So the thing with this is you really want to make sure you have everything ready. And the reason for that is, right, because we're going to put ink on there. And it's not going to dry as fast as it is on paper because of the fact is that it's plastic, right? So that's what makes this work. So let me take this here and let me get the folder for you. I'm trying to think what was the easiest way for me to do this to show you. All right, so I like to have everything ready to go, right? So it's not like I'm not wasting any time. So I've got my plates here, got this here. All right, so I do have a rag just in case I do make a mess. And you do want to rinse this off as soon as you can because I don't like to stain mine, but it's still a great technique. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my paper right here, and I'm just going to line it with the edge, just like that, just because I want to be ready. And let's see, I don't really have enough space. Let's see if I really wanted that right there and ready, so this space is definitely much smaller than my kitchen counter. All right, I'm just going to take this here, see if I can get you to see this. All right, and we're just going to swipe. Just drag it across. I've done this before on some pillow gifts. We've done this, it's been a while back. We made something look like leather by doing this. That's all I'm going to do is I'm just taking it and swiping, okay? I don't have to do the whole thing because the whole thing isn't going to be embossed, right? But I did want to make sure I got my north and south, but you can see it's still wet. And I'm just going to put it over there. And yes, it is a mess, but you know what? When I did this, all I had to do was just run it through the cool water in my sink, and all the ink came off. So, you know, sometimes we think, that's not very much ink. Well, guess what? It's more than you think. And I'm just going to run it back through one time, good measure just for me. But yes, so keep in mind, you've really got more ink. So, you know, I would try this out first if you want to try it for the first time. In fact, what I'm going to do is I lift this off. I'm going to see how it looks because, right, I can still, if I got it still in place, so see I got a little bit different look, right? So you can see I've done this different ways. So when I was telling you that this, so keep in mind, right, this is the top side. If you can always tell because you got Stampin' Up, that lets you know this is the side that's going to do the pressing down, you get the image. So when I got the super dark one, literally instead of swiping, I just smashed down the ink, right? So you can see I got a totally different look than what I got from the other two rounds. So it's just a matter, and I'm going to just stick a rag in between here at the moment because I have visions of getting this everywhere. Okay, that can just go over to the side with a cloth in the middle. It's a rag, it's okay. But you can see how heavy my ink is on some of that? So even though I set it there and I just swiped it, still that it's got it's got ink. And you can see, this is really a great way to see how much it really embosses down into the paper. So if you're going to use two-tone cardstock because it's a little bit thinner, you just want to be careful when you do that. And I didn't get quite enough on the end, or I didn't capture it. So I can actually just come with a dauber, right, and touch that up. So don't worry about that. I never worry about stuff like that. But so here's how my choices, right? I can either do it just like this right here. I can do the really, really dark one. Now keep in mind my balloon's going to be on top, right? So if you want a visual, just go ahead and do your visual so you get an idea what it's going to look like. So this is really dark, right? This one is a mixture of light and dark. So right when you swipe, you don't control everything as you do when I just mash down the color. So I get something that looks very different and variegated there. And then if I do this one here, this is going to look the closest to what she did. It's not going to be as dark as she did. It's going to be close, all right? Because I'm going to stick close to hers. I can come back and do some other photos of this because I think these are pretty cool. And I can definitely do something with that. And I can definitely do something with this too, right? So like I said, I would take a dauber, or else you can even take this here. If you do something like this, it's just go ahead and you can just do that, right? So if the edge really bothered you, that's what I would do. Oops, I would just take this here. A dauber will work. I have my daubers down the other area because I'm planning on using those today. See how much ink that is? I just tapped and there's a lot of ink. Lots of times people think you don't have a lot of ink there. You got a lot of ink there. But see, I'm going to have to come. That's all right. And the thing is you can add as little color as you want. But I can get that right. I can easily get that where it blends in right with what I originally inked. Okay, so don't sweat the small stuff. I consider that small stuff. You know, the other option would be, you know, when you do something like that, maybe it didn't turn out the way you wanted it and you don't want to use it or whatever, cut it off, right? Let's face it, that is, you cut that off just 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. I did that to make it match how it did originally. But if you don't like it, then just cut it off. It's 1/4 of an inch. All right, so now you're going to center it in the center of the card just like you would if we did by 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so don't sweat the small stuff. That is small stuff. All right, put that aside. So I have 3 of them now I can do something with. Let me see if I can show you this too. Sometimes people think you can come across here. The thing is coming across here, this is just going to hit the raised part. Okay? So when you say, can I use the blending brush? You can, but it's going to be a different technique because the fact is you're hitting the stuff that's raised, not the stuff that's flat. Whereas when I did the embossing photo with the ink across, right, it's inking up all the stuff here that's flat, and the part that's going to be raised up is the color of the cardstock. So, again, it's just whatever technique you want, just FYI, right, so you know. That's the one thing, the beauty of us creating, right, our own cards, greeting cards, is that we can do them any way we want because it's ours. All right, so we're just going to put this on. So yes, so she does. She likes to do the edge to edge. So there we go. We got edge to edge. Now she put this one down on, she did it flat, but I always like to show you so you have choices, right? So the thing is you're not sure if you want to raise it up or not. Just put your dimensionals underneath just like that to see. And see, I want to put mine up, so I'm going to put mine up. And the thing is, if you're still not sure, I mean, dimensionals are easy to take off the back of paper. So if you get it all up there and you're still not sure and you're still wondering, there you go. All right? So whatever is easiest for you to help you out is what I would tell you. All right. Yes, I'm missing my ribbon. My green ribbon I had already pre-cut. All right, then we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. And this is just done early espresso. God bless you. Just centering that. All right, and putting this on dimensionals. Now this one here, ooh, I used the wrong tag, but that's okay. All right, so you can see I thought I got the right tag, and I didn't. I got the larger tag. And I don't think I have any smaller tags with me, but it's okay. All right? So we can put this up on dimensionals, and again, right, if you didn't like the way, the height of it and all, then you can just add to it. Boy, I definitely must not have had enough caffeine yet this morning. All right. This is, this is a cool set. Really, really cool. And it's not limited to just using it with the silly old bear, right? Okay, we're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals here. Our dimensionals a ribbon. And then, because I just used the last of the glue dots I have handy and can see, I'm going to use tearing tape to put this down. Right, many times for me, I just, whatever's handy, right? I look around and see, what do I have? What do I have? Okay, so I actually have some tearing tape. I have many glue dots around here. It's just what I have handy is, didn't realize I was going to use this up today. Alright, I'm just going to put it back here. Now, one thing I do like about tearing tape, right? You can always roll it. What I mean by rolling it, see, I've got all this adhesive, so if I don't want it all in that one spot, just roll it over, okay? Make it however much you want for wherever you're working with. And I'm just going to put this right here. You get to be able to see the words. Okay, and I can trim that off. I do at least like to keep them going in the same direction, right? However I cut. Okay, and then we're going to put our bling on here. So I hope you like this technique. I mean, this is a very nice technique. It's, I don't do it all the time. I do it occasionally. But it's just something different, right? There's just so many ways you can do it, so you're not limited to this. And that's the nice thing to show you is that you're not limited to anything, right? Other than your imagination and whatever you want to do. That's it. And I like these, I like the bling too. Okay, I'm going to have to cut this just a little bit shorter because I can't see the bling and I really like the bling. So now I'm going to cut it the other way. Okay. And I'll do the same this on this side. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to put this on the inside. Let's see if she put anything on the, nope, she didn't do anything on the inside. So we'll put something on the inside. And I'm going to put some of those little bees. I like those little bees. Between the bees and the wish flowers, right? Our dandelion, blowing the breeze wish flowers. In fact, that would sort of be cute too. If we did this like we did the other day, let's do that. Let's do this because we can. So the other day, if you watched, I put Piglet on here with the wish flowers, and I put Tigger on the other side. So let's do that. Put Tigger right here. So he's a little big, so his tail might be partially off because I don't need him like taking over the whole card. That would be Tigger's personality as it is. And let's see here. Let's get Piglet here with a wish flower. I don't remember seeing Piglet with a wish flower, but I like dandelions. And so when I do this, I'm going to stamp these on. I'm going to stamp them off because I'm going to use the Early Espresso because it's the only brown I have that I brought up. I was going to do the bees in yellow. They're going to go that way. All right, let me get the little... So wish flowers, I always want to miss them because it's stretched out like this. It's only going to stamp 3, but I always... Finding the stamp is... I always go to pass it over because of the fact that, right, it's got just the 3, and I'm not thinking about that. So I'm just going to put on the bottom side of where I'm going to do this here. All right, so I need one more stamp block so I can sit up and do this. Okay, so we can get Tigger on here, and like I said, we're going to stamp him off. Let's see how many times we got to stamp him off. Hello, Black Samurai. I hope you're doing good today. All right, so you see how dark that is, right? Okay, so I'm going to go with the third stamp off because I want it subtle. I'm not looking for it to be, like, prominent. All right, and like I said, I don't want his whole tail because... Put Tigger's hotel there and take the whole thing up. All right, we're going to do the same thing with Piglet. You can see the same thing. Here's 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we can go with the third one. Yes, and keep in mind, right, I also had inked up my ink pad, so when you do that, you definitely want to check and see how it's going to come out. Okay? All right, now here comes in the fun with my wish flowers. All right, same thing here. You know what? Let's go with the gold because we can, right? I can. Right? We can do whatever we want because it's ours. Let's do it. It's just a pretty color. But the same thing, let's do the color so we see what it's going to look like, right? Here's 1, 2, and 3. All right, see, I'm going to go with 2 because you can see once I go to 3, I can't even see it. All right, so we're going to go 1, and then I'm going to go 2. Just subtle, very subtle, right? Same thing with the bees. Let's get the bees inked up, and we'll double check them out. Okay, they're still very, very subtle, which is good because I'm going to write over these, right, when I write and send this to somebody. So, and I'm just going to put them right up here. So I can still see it, right? And you write to someone, you send this to someone, so you can still see it, but it's just very, very subtle, right? Very, very subtle. So when you handwrite across it, it won't matter, and it'll all still be there. And then we have this on something that never hurts to keep looking up. So we know the bees will go up. We know that everything else will go up. So here's what we finished off today with the last of our stuff. So here's the original one. Here's the one I did today, just a little bit darker. All right, a little bit different in color. And then we also have the other one that we created that, I don't know what I did with my bow and this here. But again, right, we've done it here so when you open it up, that you want to keep in mind a directional paper so that you can have it looking like this. And we could easily put a sentiment or anything over here. We would just have to put cardstock over it, right? So that's what the key to everything is where do you want to go? And like I said, you could extend this out and make another double panel coming this way, right? And make a nice something. You'll just have to wait and see what I do with it, all right? So I want to thank you. It's been a week. It's been a very interesting week. I don't know what you got going for your weekend, but it's been a very interesting week, right? With different opportunities presenting itself for me that I didn't plan on. So anyway, that happens. Life happens, right? But I want to thank you for not only joining us here and following us with the Stamp Camp and supporting our small business, but also want to thank you for following us here as well as on Facebook and Instagram. With that, have an amazing week. Go out there, create, share, and give. Think about who you're going to give it to. If you don't know who you're going to give it to, still make it. You know you're going to give it to somebody. You can save the sentiment on the inside for later. Be blessed. See you soon. Tomorrow we'll be live. Believe it or not, we'll be live, but it's going to be a kit together with a new paper pumpkin kit at 4 o'clock. So if you want to join in with us, we do door prizes then too. And 4 o'clock tomorrow. That's on Facebook. We'll be doing that. And if you don't have that particular kit, just bring whatever kit you have and come join with us and we'll craft together. All right. See you soon. Bye.